Monthly Report, Operations section of CFO100. In this lecture, I would like to explain monthly report. Monthly report is an essential report to operate business and company, not only for the internal purpose in the business entity, but it is also an effective tool to share information with many stakeholders. Monthly report is not for recording purpose. It has many important roles. It is an active tool to communicate with many related persons. If you look at the picture on left side, you can understand that monthly report is made by the company and shared inside of it. This is the basic monthly report and it is shared with shareholders as well. The asset manager for the business primarily receives the report from the business company. Not only for the shareholders, but also the report is sometimes circulated to lenders and bondholders for the different purpose. You understand that you sometimes need to make another monthly report from the information picked up from the entity level monthly report. It is made by the asset manager for inside shareholders. When we talk about the monthly report, we are talking about those two slightly different reports. CFO should clearly understand more about why you need to make the report and understand more about the functions. Regarding the entity level of the report, there is an obligation perspective. Some SHA has a clause to require the entity to make a monthly report for the shareholders. And also, loan agreements and bond agreements related to the debt of the company have the same type of requirement for lenders and bondholders. There is the other perspective. It is a management perspective. Inside of shareholders, you have many related persons. The asset manager of the business is not the only one person who wants to have updates from the business. There are many persons who want to understand the latest overall status of the business as a shareholder. In such a situation, having a meeting to share the information is not practical way as every month. Monthly reports can be functioning as an opportunity to give pressure to people in the operating company to rebuild and check the status of topics regularly. CEO and CFO of the business have benefits from it because they can utilize this opportunity to give motivation and pressure their division to review the state regularly. This type of regular internal control is very natural, but many companies have issues providing the report because it is the burden of work at the working level. Especially in developing countries, people are not good at monitoring and updating something regularly. CEO and CFO usually struggle to monitor business operations in common and continuous ways. As I explained above, monthly report is a tool for communication. CFO of a business entity can receive comments from shareholders about monthly report. They can sometimes provide solutions and opinions for challenging issues. It is helpful for the company to get external knowledge. Although monthly report is a very simple but effective tool to communicate with many stakeholders and related persons. On the next page, you can understand the formality of the report. Practically, the formality of the report is free, and there is no definitive list of contents. It depends on the business and its operation. But what you need is setting appropriate contents to catch the entire view of the business. I can show you the important contents to be included in monthly report. You can refer to it and adjust it as a style that is suitable for your business. The first one is critical topics for the entity. The critical topics having the effect on business continuity should be emphasized at the top of the report. And the second is a summary of operation and the numbers KPI, not only just showing in words, but also the specific numbers should be included to be reviewed and to be assessed by the professionals for that business on the shareholders' side. In the same manner, financial results and variance analysis should be included in that report. It means monthly P&L and balance sheet. Safety, compliance, environment, and HR issues, those topics are not directly having an impact on business, but it sometimes includes very important and critical issues which are related to the company's success and critical problems. Without showing it, the operating companies sometimes do not respect and do not regard those topics as important topics. The next one is tax and legal issues which have direct impact on companies' regulation, reputation, compliance, and cash position. We have the other two topics, but those two topics should be included in the report at the shareholder level. The manager receives their monthly report from the operating entity. He will make the report. And in that report, those two things should be included. The original monthly report will be modified because plenty of information are described in that one. It is not suitable for management and people not familiar with the project. As a summary internal report, you should include not only those above topics, but also politics and economic news about that country or region. In case of that, the entity is based on overseas. As a tricky point of content, you should understand the information about who visited the business company in that month. You can imagine that your senior management doesn't know the important business partners or political persons visited the business company. Your senior management cannot say hello or appreciation for those business partners. It has negative impression that your senior management don't know the news. This is just a housekeeping type of content, but the relationship with management is always keep in your mind. If your current monthly report doesn't include those basic topics, you can suggest including that topics to make your monthly report much effective for all. As I explained in the previous slides, you can understand that monthly report is not just about sharing information, but also improving the operation and the business between shareholders and the business company. This slide shows how to handle and how to utilize a report at each step. Even without specific explanations and ideas, your companies may be already doing the same manner as a natural process to handle the report. But if your company doesn't do the same type of a process and just submits the report to shareholders, you should implement this regular communication style for monthly report as CFO. The effective regular communication cycle needs to be established and organized systematically. Let's see the first step. The business entity having the operation makes a draft of the report and share it with shareholders. And then it is reviewed by the shareholder side. They prepare some questions. Not only the asset managers but also the technical team on the shareholder side should review the report, and if there is something wrong, the person should raise the issue on the table. The next step is having the monthly operating meeting for communication and clarification between shareholders and the business entity. In this session, key persons in charge of the operating company will attend to explain the details and answer back to questions from shareholder side. Contents of monthly reports are elaborated by each those PIC in this meeting. And lastly, there is a follow-up process for topics raised and shared in the monthly report meeting. If necessary, you can arrange a small group meeting to discuss details of the topics. Based on received monthly report from the business company, the asset manager should prepare the internal monthly report to share the information with the other related divisions and the senior management in the shareholder side. If there is a specific technical issue or financial issue which should be discussed separately among the professionals, the accounting, finance, or risk management team should proactively raise this topic when they read the report. Coming back to view of the CFO in the business entity, by taking the proper manner of handling their monthly report, you can maintain a good relationship and a maximization of synergy between shareholders and the business entity. Indeed, managers and PAC in business company may proactively report to CFO about the incidents and the challenging point when it happens. But monthly reports compulsorily mobilize those people and make them update something new. As you set managers as main speakers of each part, good pressure is on those persons to make them feel responsible. The content in itself are important for the report. Design of the process is needed to realize the beneficial effects of the monthly report. This is another important point.